listening to AmericanFreedomRadio.com. I'm your host, Carrie Lee, and this is Lifting the Veil. So, today is the 29th, am I right? Yes, it is, the 29th of December, 2012. And as we said on last week's show, we made it! We survived December 21st, 2012, and are no worse for wear. A little worse for wear leading up to it. I can say that I had some issues getting my way towards the, that mighty mark of the 21st of December. And I kind of had a little collapse and fell apart. I'm so glad for these things where I fall apart, because I'm able to pick up pieces and put them back together. Or not even. I don't pick up pieces of myself. I recreate myself. I let go of all the shit that I don't need, and I try and make myself into, not even make myself into. All right. So everybody, welcome to Lifting the Veil with Carrie Lee. Today is a solo show, and there's a reason for it. When I began doing radio 2 years ago, I was, this is how I started. I started rambling and ranting and talking nonsense, and not nonsense, just talking as I do. And then I started doing these amazing interviews, and it's something that I really fell into and I started to love, to the point where I just stopped talking on my own, and it was always interview time. And something about the snake with its tail in its mouth. We're always beginning where we end, we always end where we begin. And so today, I am here to announce that my time with American Freedom Radio is, by my choice, come to an end. Maybe not an end. I'd like to come back and do some guest spots, but not on a schedule. See, Carrie's a very fickle creature, and I just can't. I've taken so much away from myself in the amount of following schedules and timing things. And I find myself not appreciating the commercials. I love the people that are sponsoring American Freedom Radio, and I'm not saying don't do it. Please continue to do it. It's just something that I feel takes away from the flow of the show. So I'm going to continue doing interviews that are pre-recorded, and then Justin's going to do his amazing magic and put them on YouTube. And I'm sure that there's stations out there that are going to be playing with them. I know that New Rev Radio usually puts shows up. And we'll go from there. It's not the end. It's just another beginning. And let's start there. Let's start there at new beginnings. And I'm just going to pause one quick second. I had a hair in my throat. Okay. So, new beginnings. This is a time right now where I'm going to say it. We were talking, the girls, last week during the first womb table, the round womb table, and we were talking about the fact that we were all having a really difficult time. There was some ascension pangs, if you want to call them that. I don't know what to call them, but I think there was a lot of old baggage that we were holding on to, and we weren't realizing. I know for myself, let's just speak for Carrie, I didn't realize I was holding on to it. There were things from my programming, Catholic upbringing. Do you know how good it feels to let go of that Catholic guilt? And do you know how confusing it is to understand that you didn't realize you were still holding on to it because you actually thought you were somehow above that? Yeah, I wasn't. There was still some type of fear mechanism going on in me, and there was a hopelessness. I'm going to give everybody a bit of some advice here. They're trying to hurt us in a way that, look at how the shootings in the States at that school, it killed me. I allowed it to. I made myself this angry, hurt individual who wanted so badly to seek some type of justice and lash out, and I did. I lashed out. I lashed out at the old me. I lashed out at the old paradigm. I lashed out at things that are completely not within my... It's just not necessary for me to try to do anything to change any of these things. Jason Gregory, who is an absolutely wonderful guest that I have had, author of Way of the Weirdo, gave me some wonderful advice. And in that advice, it included things like understanding that to sit back and watch and understand that the fools are going to do what the fools do, not in those words. These are my words, my recreation of his advice to me. And to know that, it doesn't have to affect you. It really doesn't. Does it mean that you just ignore life as it is? No, it's good to know what's going on, but not letting it affect you, not holding on to the baggage. This has been a huge thing for me because this year taught me that nothing's going to be what you want it to be. The universe has plans for you regardless of what you think and what you want and what your plans are. You're going to get what you're going to get, and you're going to get what you need. And I did. And there were times where I was holding on to some really angry, hurtful, harmful feelings, even though I knew it wasn't right. And even though I was trying to let it all go, I didn't. And it always came back and bit me in the ass. Now, something that I realized that I wasn't ready for was the idea that any way that I'm feeling, and it's not like I don't know this, right? It's not like we don't all know that it's not exactly the way that we think it is, but anything that I'm doing and I'm saying that someone else is hurting me, and nobody's hurting me. I'm hurting myself. This is huge. You have to pick and choose what you're going to take on and tackle, and there's that, that saying, pick your battles. I've been picking battles that I shouldn't be picking. I'm not in regret because I've learned so much. I'm very, very pleased with everything that I've learned. I've grown as a person. I've grown as an individual. That being said, I'm not planning on allowing myself to hurt myself anymore. Everybody seemed to be in this funk. This whole funk that's come around us with the 21st. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know what it's all about. I'm not going to pretend like I have the answers to everything. And if anybody's going to sit back and say anything to what I'm saying, by all means, go ahead. It's none of my business what you think of me. And that's something that I'm going to make very, very clear. Yeah, I have some beliefs that go against a lot of other people's beliefs. This seems to be something that people are grabbing onto and attaching themselves to very deeply right now. I don't know if people are upset because Jesus didn't come. I'm not sure if people are upset because the rapture didn't happen. I'm not sure if people are upset because no cosmic rays came down and punched you in the third eye and said you're healed and you can see, and I don't know what everybody was expecting, but everybody seems to be really, not everybody. Shush, Carrie, stop, centralizing everybody. A lot of people seem to be very aggressive about their beliefs now. It seems that you have to push the fact that you have to believe as I do. And if you don't believe as I do, then you're no good and you're going to end up in some kind of bad situation that's going to be hurtful to you. Something that I'm going to read to you that I posted on Facebook. So December 21st is past and we stand very strong in our survival. No second coming, no mass rapture, no fear. There are so many different ideals, thoughts, and practices out there that I want to be fine within them all. I usually am, until someone from one religious sect or another starts the name calling when you tell them that you just don't believe as they do. You're not putting them down, it's just that I only go so far with what you believe. I'm veering off from what I wrote now. I can respect you, and yet when I see that respect isn't given, I get my knickers in a knot, and that's my problem. I go back to it. Part of my quest in this life is not to feel hurt by the fact that those who hold different beliefs than I do actually think I'm evil for believing as I do. It's not my fault others think I'm a heathen who's going against some angry man in the sky with a thunderbolt at the ready to strike me down. It's not my fault some people feel the need to push their saviors as the ultimate savior. Every reluctant Messiah shows a way, as all the guides have. None of this is your fault or mine, though. I need to just allow others to be who they are without allowing it to affect me, because in truth, it just doesn't unless I allow it. Some may still wish to sit back and condemn for what they believe. That's fine. It's your opinion of what me, I'm sorry, the point is it's fine. Your opinion of me matters not, and it's none of my business until you decide to tell me. Then it's still your opinion, and it still matters not, as I said. I think a lot of us get very hurt. I know I do. I get hurt when someone, perfect example, I was called a Jezebel because I decided that I didn't believe in what was believed in by someone else. And that because I do believe in a creator, I do believe in that universal energy, I even believe that Jesus walked the earth. Honest, I do. I believe he was just another one of those guides. The ideals, Krishna, Jesus, Buddha, I mean, it's okay if you don't subscribe to my channel anymore because you're hearing me say these words. You're not hurting me anymore. And I'm surely not going to hurt myself. This is a big thing for me because I'm still playing in it. I'm going to say it like I'm beliefs, right? I'm a Gemini. I'm kind of like split down the middle. So there's those days where I will take things to heart that I shouldn't, and then there's other days where I'm completely fine with it. Why am I sharing all this with everybody? Because I know somebody out there needs to hear it. And because I haven't taken the time to actually talk, just me, for a very long time. So I'm taking that opportunity now. And like I said, we begin as we end as we begin. And that's my point. I'm ending as I begin. I began. I was all by myself talking, and I'm all by myself talking again. But it's not the end, it's just another beginning. That's what it all comes down to. There are no endings, there are no beginnings. It's just constant opportunity in the now, which is something I don't think enough people are taking enough time to really grasp or embrace this now moment, which is another reason why I don't want to do Saturday shows anymore on a schedule, because I really like not being scheduled. I really like flying by the seat of my pants. I really like the spontaneity, and I really like the flow to be continuous and just uninterrupted. This life is so amazing, and we have so many blessings and so many things to be grateful for. This funk that everybody's feeling, it's okay. What do we have to remember in it, though? That you have to be okay inside of yourself. That's a hard one, because sometimes we fool ourselves into thinking that we're okay, and then these little things creep up when we're not expecting them. Did you know that I was made to be a very responsible young lady at the age of 3? That I put everybody else's needs before mine at that young age of 3 years old? Do you know what that did? That created a space where I get pleasure from pleasing other people, and sadness and confusion from trying to take time for myself. This is like a huge revelation for me, that I was like programmed to make sure that everybody else was okay before myself. Where does that leave me? Where does that leave my heart? Where does that leave my spirit? Who am I taking care of? Nobody. Who am I hurting? Everybody. It's not helping anybody if I'm not okay. It's not helping anybody if I'm not taking care of myself. It's not helping anybody if I'm deciding that, you know what? You're more important than I am today. It doesn't work that way. And that doesn't mean I need to be a selfish prat and sit back and only care about me. It just means that I care about myself to love myself enough so that I can love you. So that I can not care about the way that you feel about the things that I feel strongly or otherwise about. If I was okay with me, these things wouldn't bother me. I admire this in people. I see it in people, and it's something that I want to embrace fully. And I made that conscious decision to do it. That's what I'm doing now. I'm making a conscious decision to put me first. This show, it started off as this amazing therapy for myself, and I had to share it without making it therapy anymore, without it being therapeutic anymore. It was, I can't just help me, I have to help everybody else. Well, I'm going to keep on doing that, but I'm going to make sure that I come first. because I matter that much. Selfish little prat that I am, eh? No. I get it. I get that if I'm not okay with me, people outside of me are going to suffer. I don't want people to hurt anymore. I also don't want to push my beliefs on anybody anymore. So I believe one way and you believe another way. We're both wrong. Let's hug it out. It's like my motto now. We're both wrong. You're not right. I'm not right. Let's hug it out. It doesn't matter. If you want to believe that science in its truest, in its most mainstream sense is the only thing to go on, then fine. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect me. If you think that I'm some new age flip-flop that doesn't, count for anything, fine. It's okay. I don't need your approval. You don't need mine. You don't need to push for it anymore. We just need to learn to get to those things that matter the most so that we can work together. Without fear, without worrying, if I work with this person, are they going to take something away from me? Why are we trying so hard to hurt each other still? You don't have to take away from somebody else to gain from yourself. You get it all from within. Within, not without. Vampires leech off of other people. They suck up their energy. They cause so many empathic people to be drained. Guess what? Those empaths are allowing themselves to be drained. You know how I know? Because I am one. I don't know how long I've said it, just absolutely I can't go into a mall because everybody's negativity. Okay, so fine. Then I lose out on things because I don't want to live? Not that the mall's really living, but if I want to go into a bookstore and I don't want, anybody's energy, I have the control to deal with that. I've been this empath running around the world crying because you hurt my feelings. Oh, I've allowed myself to be hurt. More to come. Welcome back to AmericanFreedomRadio.com. You're listening to one of the last live shows. I can't say the last live show because if I put anything in stone, I'm just going to smash it. It's what I do. Everything I set in stone, I end up smashing at some point and doing it different. There is no masterpiece. There's always and only a work in progress. We've got this amazing time ahead of us. Something that Justin and I were talking about was, there's this funk and these cinders of ashes that we've kind of folded ourselves into or burned down to the bottom. But there's this creative juice that's flowing. I don't know if anybody else has gotten wind of it, but this creativity that I see coming from everywhere and everybody. And it's like this. It's like everything, all that uncomfortableness you're feeling comes down to birthing pains, right? You're birthing a new world. You're birthing new creation. You're birthing something new. And what do you do with the placenta that's been feeding you all these months or years or whatever? You don't keep it. Well, some people do. You plant a tree with it. That's a creative expression. That's of new life. We don't carry our placentas around with us for our whole lives. We just don't do that. We stay in them as long as we need them, and then we break free of them, and we discard them, and we move on. All those old ways that are not working for us, we've got to discard them. This fear stuff, oh boy, the fear. That's what set me off before the 20th. I don't have my kids in school. Partially the reason is I know that there's never going to be a time where some crazy person or some deluded MK Ultra mind-controlled person or whatever, I don't know. But that person's not going to come into a school where my children are at and blow them away. It's not going to happen, The idea of children being hurt, it kills me. It set me off the edge. It made me think of the children in Palestine. It made me think, and I got sad. But you know what? It's not mine. There's nothing I can do about it. What can I do something about? I can teach my children well. That's all I can do. I can love myself. I can immediately love the people around me. I can help myself grow. I can nourish myself. In nourishing myself, I can nourish the others around me. The creativity that I see, I was talking to Justin the other night, and it was just like exploding out from me. So much. So many ideas I have to share. So many different avenues I want to go down, and so many people I want to link up with, and so many different actions I want to do. Speaking of actions, Lifting the Veil in 2013 is starting a new project. It's called Lifting the People. It's a way for Justin and I and a guest from the show to pick something that is a worthy cause in the month, and all of you get to help in any way you can if you feel moved to. Whether it's me running around and buying $100 worth of, or whatever the donations are, worth of, warm clothes from the thrift store so that I can walk around the streets of Winnipeg and give them to the people that I see that have nothing, I'm going to do that. If that means that, Justin's going to, find some awesome community garden that he can help donate to so that they can, set a better example for everybody, we're going to do that. If we find something abroad that's everything's worth it, we just want to make sure they're legitimate. Any ideas that anybody has for any kind of charitable things that we can do, send it to us. Send it to liftingtheveil@gmail.com. I think that's right. I'm terrible. I need people. I need more veil lifters. Justin just wrote something. Belief is not something to be proud of. Believing something is not an accomplishment. I grew up thinking that beliefs are something to be proud of, but they're really nothing but opinions one refuses to reconsider. Beliefs are easy. I could go on. I don't want to be comfortable anymore in anything. The minute I become comfortable in something, then I think I've become stagnant and complacent. I finally let go of the idea that I'm going to get some kind of horrendous punishment. Liftingtheveil@gmail.com, everybody. It's one, Lifting the Veil, as in one, the number one, Lifting the Veil, all one word, @gmail.com. If you have any ideas for the Lifting the People. We can't stagnate. We stagnate, and we sit in our beliefs, and we sit in our bunks, and we don't go anywhere with it, and then we wonder why we're so upset and why the world's in the state that it is. And the truth of the matter is that because we're creating it for ourselves. I had a crazy year. I've learned truths about people I was not prepared for. I watched people turn in a way that I wasn't expecting. And I made the best out of it. I also saw how the universe provided for me and my family exactly what we needed when we needed it without having to ask. It was known that it was needed, and the minute that it was needed, it was there for us. Not because I'm special. Freaking right I am. You know why? Because I love who I am. In my heart, if you just heard me knocking on my chest, I love myself. And I realized that I finally love myself enough to know that I deserve bliss. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love myself and I don't deserve to make me hurt anymore? I don't deserve to let my fears rule me anymore? Do you deserve that? Do you deserve to take 5 minutes to yourself to sit in quiet contemplation and understand that we are all one? And I can hear somebody in the background saying, oh, here we go, one world government, you're all one with your one world government, new age hippie, okay, fine. It's okay. You can feel that way. That's gotta suck that you hate everybody so much, or that you just so unhappy that you have to make us all feel bad, or try to make us all feel bad because of our hippy dippy crap. I'm sorry it makes you, I'm not sorry. It makes you feel uncomfortable because I hold a sign telling you to hug me. It's free. Does it make you that uncomfortable to know that I can hug another man without any feelings of sexual, anything, in a long embrace for a long time and just feel love? Not in a way that makes anybody feel uncomfortable? Or that my husband can watch it happen and not feel like he's threatened? Little things. It's these little things. We have to change. We don't have to. What do you want? What do you want from this life? We're rebuilding our world. What do you want? You want school massacres and fear? Then feed it. That's up to you. You are what you eat. What are you feeding your soul? I'm not saying ignore it all. That's farthest from what I'm saying. What I'm saying is watch what you're putting inside your heart. Watch what you're putting inside your head. Watch what you're putting inside your mind. Watch what you're giving your spirit. Is it resonating with your spirit? Is your spirit happy? Are you happy? What excuses are you making for yourself so that you can't do it? I don't have time. I have children. I homeschool. I have 2 dogs. I have a cat. I have a husband. I have 2 children. I have a cat. I'm trying to renovate a house. I'm trying to do shows. I try to be active on Facebook. I try to have a social life of people like-minded coming together and doing something positive, like all these things I'm doing. Where's my time for me? I make it. Because I want to be better than I am. I want to be not better than I am, like I'm not good enough, but I know that I can raise myself up. And I know that I have more to offer than the sadness that I sometimes place at the soul of who I am. I know that. And I know that I'm the one saying, I don't think I want to be as happy as I could be at the end of it all. That's me. That's me thinking I don't deserve it. So I'm speaking for me, for all of you that are sitting there that do the same thing that I've been doing. Because it's really not easy to admit to yourself that you're hurting yourself now, is it? It's so much easier to blame your partner. It's so much easier to blame the television. It's so much easier to blame the news. It's so much easier to blame the guy in the car in front of you who might have accidentally pulled out in front of you. Or whatever the case is. It's so easy to blame, I don't know, the guy that's not a vegan because you are. It's so much easier to blame everybody and everything for the way you feel without taking personal responsibility, sitting back and saying, no, this is on me. I don't have to feel this way. I don't have to hurt myself. I don't have to hurt for the world. I can love for the world. I can give back to the world. But the minute I'm okay with me inside, that's when you can do that. The whole thing about creating a new world right now is creating that world inside of you. Inside of you. You come first. Even if you're a mother, even if you're a father, even if you're, there's no excuses anymore. You come first. Mark Hollywood, print $1 on Facebook. I love you, brother. You said natural law. When you want to do something, you know whether it's right or wrong or not. You know. It's a choice. Nobody's got a gun to your head saying feel this way or else. If you're holding on to baggage, that's on you. I was holding on to baggage. It's on me. I'm letting it go. I know it's like I'm like so passionate right now. I've got tears in my eyes, and it's real though. I don't know who's saying this stuff. I'm not enlightened. I haven't reached some like high place where I can sit and just pretend like everything or everything's like Om. It's not like that for me. You know that, right? I'm not special. We're all special. I'm special in the lick the bus window kind of way occasionally. Honest, I am. You know, I don't know. I think I'll leave you with that to ponder during the commercial break, because I'm telling you, it all starts with you. It ends with you. The snake bites its tail. There is no beginning. There is no end. And we're all connected. And if I hurt, you hurt. I don't know how many times I get messages and emails. They know that I'm hurting. People know that I'm hurting. I don't even have to say anything on Facebook, and I say everything on Facebook. People know. That's how connected we are. I don't want to hurt anybody because I hurt. I don't want to hurt. I'm not saying I don't want to feel my shadow self anymore. I just don't want to make myself suffer. I'm not saying I'm going to be all love and light and whoop-de-doo. But there's things, there's baggage. Why are we holding on to it? I've been talking about this for 2 years. Why am I holding on to baggage? Well, sometimes it doesn't present itself, and sometimes you have to go through things, and every purge is a chance for you to get rid of it. Everybody's sick right now. Doesn't anybody find it funny that everybody's sick right now? Maybe we're all purging the yuck. Maybe, just maybe, we're getting rid of all that gunk that's inside of us, all those blockages, so that we can truly love each other, love ourselves without hurting ourselves anymore, without the fear, without the crap, just actually care. When you look in the mirror, do you love you? Or are you putting yourself down? I look in the mirror and I actually like me, and it has nothing to do with my looks. I love myself. Occasionally I forget. And I fall back into like old habits of loving others more than I love myself. And isn't it twisted that I kind of get off on that a little bit? It gives me a payout. Just the wrong one. Because if I think that helping others is going to actually help me, it's just another form of vampirism. How's that? We'll have more after this on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Yeah, we're on some ride today, aren't we? So here I am exposing my soul. And it's like perfect timing. It's the 29th of December. Like, we're just so close to 2013, right? This is like out with the old, in with the new. Could not mean more than it does to me right now. You know, the changes in you. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Make sure that you start with yourself first. And I have all these mantras in my head of all the things that we've been saying to each other for all these years. And yet, you do all realize that we are human for a reason, right? And you do all realize that we came here, whether some believe it was a choice and some don't. I believe it was a choice. I believe I came here to rock this freaking shift in my way. I look at you all. I see who's here to rock this shift in your own way. I see you. I'm with you. I'm standing in solidarity with you. My dogs are standing in solidarity. I don't know if you can hear them. They're outside and they're having a good bark. All right. Seriously, though, I'm watching. I've been watching for so long. And then I finally decided to join in. And now for 2 years, I've been talking and meeting up with people, and we've all been getting together and doing what we do. There's been a lot of like misunderstandings. A lot of us don't understand each other. We have to understand to some extent that we're not always going to get along. We're just not. It's like the spice of life, but it's how we handle it. I don't always handle it well. Oh boy, I don't handle it well. There's times where I do feel like I want some type of cosmic vengeance to come down, right? Not gonna lie. That whatever's going on is unfair to some extent. That it shouldn't be the way it is. Wow, that's really something, eh? That I actually think that? I mean, I amaze myself sometimes. Everything happens as it happens. Everything's going to go as it should. Do you know that I moved my family 36 hours away, looking for change, looking for something different that we weren't finding, taking a chance and doing something that I don't know a lot of people can do what we did. We just upped and left. Dogs, cat, kids, us, gone. Did we get what we thought we were coming here for? No. Was it hard? Yes. Did the universe provide for us? I have a very good friend. His name's Pat. We're just going to leave it at that. He has been a wonderful friend to my husband and I, to my children. And he was like that, the universal gift of, it's okay that you're not getting what you think you came here for. We're going to give you what you need. You always get what you need. That's it. What do you really need? You know, everything inside of me tells me that all we need is more understanding. All we need is a little bit more love, a little bit less judgment. It's hard. It's not easy. Because we all do it. We all judge. And I even have a hard time. Are we judging or are we observing? Sometimes it's an observation. You have to observe. You're trying to understand this world. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to make it better. This is what we're doing. This is what we're here for, right? This is why we all came here, isn't it? The ones that know or are really, really confused about why the hell I'm here in the first place, because I don't belong here. This hurts too much. Anybody said that? Has anybody sat down and said, this hurts too much? I don't belong here? I have. Nothing makes sense to me. It hurts too much. How can this be? Get over it. Seriously, get over it. You are meant to be here. You're a warrior in this. You're supposed to struggle. It makes you who you are. It strengthens your resolve. I don't want to... Claudia in the chat. It's hard to let go of baggage if you don't know where it's coming from. The rabbit hole is deep and stranger than fiction. Good times, I say. My sweet sister, you're so right. And a lot of the time, we don't know where the baggage is coming from. I just realized in the last little while that my 3-year-old self got off on helping everybody else before myself because I thought that was the way to happiness. In my 3-year-old body, helping everybody else was going to be better than it's what I was trained to do, kind of, sort of. I'm 37. I just figured that out. We don't need to hurt ourselves anymore, though. You know, we need to love ourselves. So, I don't know what the answer is other than love. I don't know what the answer is other than understanding. I don't know what the answer is other than let go of the old paradigms that you're holding on to so strongly because they're hurting you. Is that a judgment or an observation? I think it's an observation. It's also an attempt to hurt others, but that's okay because others are in control of how they feel. That's right. You are in control of how you feel. Right now, we're in winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I love it because I always go through it. Ever since I found that way to get closer to nature and not be divorced from it anymore, because that's one of our biggest problems is that society has divorced us from nature. We're supposed to be living one with nature. We are natural beings. I said something to Justin the other day of like, I don't even remember how I said it, but it was the idea of, we haven't discovered anything. We have unlearned everything that mattered. That's all. And then twisted it in some kind of mechanical fashion. I want to go back to what's natural. And little by little by little, we're doing it. And that's all anybody can ask of themselves. So that you're making that effort every day. You do realize that the choice is yours. Oh, well, I've got a boss and my boss... Okay, fine. So go in with a different attitude and see what it does. Go in with a different attitude. Keep that attitude and don't make it a sarcastic one. Be real. Be real. How many times I see people that are like, even I've done this. I should just stop it. I don't want to accuse anybody. So I'm just going to keep it all on me. Because as long as I keep it on me, then nobody can sit there and say, oh yeah, you were slagging on it. I'm not slagging on anybody. I'm telling you the truth from my side, my story, from who I am. And then nobody can sit there and say, oh, look at you throwing out accusations. No, I'm telling you who I am. And I'm going to use my examples from me. Because that's real. How many times have I went into a situation and was fake? Because really deep down in my heart, I wasn't okay with whatever I was doing. I still had issues with it. I was still hurting myself to hurt somebody else, or whatever the case is, whatever it was I thought I was doing, that I thought I was justified in. There's no justification when you go in and you're not real. And you and having that like not real love for something or somebody, it doesn't go well. It blows up in your face. You have to give 100% or don't give at all. And if you can't give, then don't until you know how to. If you really have that hard of a time loving you, taking care of you, understanding that you are here in the end, the beginning, you came in by yourself. There was nobody with you. Okay, yes, you came from your mother. Props to, I get that. But it's just you. In the end, it's just you. And that unity consciousness, that amazingness of reuniting with the great all. It's amazing being separate from it and learning it on your own. It really is. It's something that I don't think we take enough appreciation for, but how can I take enough appreciation for it when I have all these distractions around me? Oh, how I long to be in nature. I want to divorce myself from the world in ways that make sense to me. I want to do the 3-day fast in the middle of the wilderness with no food, no water, no nothing, and go on that spirit quest. I want to cleanse my body on every level. I am on this mission to be that self-involved, if that's what you want to call it. And the music saves me in a delectable pause. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to AmericanFreedomRadio.com. You're listening to Lifting the Veil with Carrie Lee, and we're at the top of the last hour. 2012. How did I love thee? Let me count the ways. 2012 was about working through things, realizations. 2013 is about enhancing what we've learned and taking action. That's direct words from Justin, our wonderful Lifting the Veil film editor, who gives us such an enticing, beautiful videos to watch with the amazing interviews that I'm blessed to be a part of. But it's true, 2012 was breaking down everything. I don't know how anybody else feels about this. As I said, I'm just going to keep talking from my experience. And I don't expect everybody's experience to be the same. And that's all good. But I found that it was every bit of fake veil that we had up. It was taken down. Was for me. Any delusions that I was telling myself, lies that I was telling myself. And it's amazing because even I have a hard time thinking that I'm lying to myself because I'm pretty upfront and I'm pretty open and I'm pretty honest and I shoot right from the hip. But yeah, lies. Pretty little lies we tell ourselves at night to get ourselves to sleep. And you don't even realize it. Little ways that you think that you're helping others and that you realize that you're enabling them. So many things that we had to let go of. And that moment of the 20th where I, like I said, fell apart was letting go of it all. Does it mean it's gone fully? Probably not. But I'm not going to let it hold me down. 2013 is about creating the world that we want. This new world we keep talking about. I've been looking at the people from Paradigm Shift for a while now. Big shout out to Brendan. They did a 3-day love-in. It was fantastic. Seminars and energy workshops and it was brilliant. I was so blessed to be able, we all have the opportunity to live vicariously watching it. It uplifted me. It reminded me why I started doing all this stuff, because I started to forget, honestly, after that shooting and stuff. I don't know, the vibe was so low around the 21st that week. I forgot. Well, why are we here? We're here to change this world because we know that it's not okay. And it starts with us. Right? How hard is it to know who you are when we have all of these veils on us? Some of them are from the media, some of them are from our parents, some of them are from our friends, some of them are from ourselves. And this year was all about taking them off, lifting the veils. Veil lifters unite. The veils are gone. If you want it. The war is over. If you want it. The shift is occurring if you want it. Silly wabbit, the shift is for bliss. I'm not saying I'm not going to help anybody. I haven't come to this cosmic understanding that, no, I'm not going to help anybody anymore because that's selfish of me. I hope everybody understood what I meant by that in the first segment. If I'm feeling like I'm lacking, I have a responsibility to fill me up in order to be able to help others. It's just the way that it is. And if we're not going to understand that, then do we really want the change? Or are we still expecting a savior? Because that's a big thing, eh? Everybody, there's a lot of people still waiting for a savior. Still waiting for some outside force to make it all better for us. Oh, it's like waiting for the Smurfs to tra-la-la-la-la through the yard. It ain't gonna happen. And if something's, I'm not saying that aliens aren't true or anything. I'm just talking about, the big angry guy in the sky with the thunderbolt. That wasn't the point of the story. Everybody's lost the point of that story, I think. Let's talk about aliens. Something that I didn't share this with everybody. Myself, my husband, and a friend of mine, Rain. We're on Pat's back porch. I don't know where everybody else was. It was during the meteor shower, I want to say the end of July, August. Probably closer to August. And we saw this amazing, oh, good Lord, I don't even know what to say. All right, so we see this light, and it goes from one end of the sky over to the Big Dipper, but it's curving, so it's so not a meteor, right? And we're watching it, and it's not a satellite, and it's not an airplane, and all of a sudden it shoots out to this like big diamond type stretch of light, and then goes right like into nothing. It just disappeared. I don't know. I have no idea. Is it a dimensional thing? Is there a portal there? I'm not going to be afraid to talk about these things anymore. I was afraid to talk about this with y'all. I was afraid to say I saw something in the sky, and I saw it again the next night, but it was something different and smaller the next night, and it didn't have half the torque that the first one did. I was afraid to say that. Why? I don't care if you don't want to subscribe to my channel anymore because I said I saw something in the sky. It's okay. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm also not going to, that's something everybody's afraid to be who they are, right? A little bit. I'm not afraid anymore. And I've noticed with a lot of friends saying things like, I'm not afraid. I want to be who I am. I don't want to be afraid of what somebody thinks. I just want to be me. Okay, well, guess what? Me calls on the quarters. Me respects the four elements more than that, but still. I have a connection to my creator in my way, the universal source, in my way that works for me. If that's going to threaten any of you, work that out for yourself. Please work that out. I know I had to. It's okay that some of my friends think that I'm going to go to hell for what I think. It's all right. If I'm going to lose those friends for those things, that's all right too. It's just another part of the path. Be who you are. Stop pretending. Not that I was pretending, but I was holding back. I've been holding back a lot, and you think that's impossible. Anybody that follows me on Facebook is going, yeah, right, Carrie's not holding anything back. She just goes. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. She actually doesn't say everything. I'm going to now. Consider that fair warning, I guess. I don't think so. I don't think it's warning. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. I think maybe something in my Catholic upbringing might have sparked something where I might have been afraid of, say, the doomsday apocalypse to some extent, and I wasn't allowing myself to admit to that. Because I wasn't. I kept saying, no, nothing's going to happen. That's just ridiculous. And there must have been some inner fear inside of me. Because either that or it's just the universal consciousness. Because it was right after the 21st where I was like, that's it. I'm not pretending anymore. I'm not going to shut my mouth. I'm also not going to be doing things unlovingly. And so many things I saw that I was doing was an unloving thing out of fear. It's such a big thing. Like, we're mean to people because we're afraid and we don't even understand it. If you take 10 seconds and breathe, just breathe. Why do you feel like, do you really feel that telling somebody that they're going to go to hell for what they've done or what they believe in, do you really feel that that's sending love out into the world? Do you feel that that's doing good? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe I have no right to observe in that way. Well, I'm going to anyway, but I'm just saying. Do I have the right to think that love is going to fix all the problems? It's not just love. Again, paradigm shift. Brennan turned around and he said, activists need to be more spiritual. Spiritual people need to be more active. I've said this before. It's like there's a trifecta here going on. I don't know. People that want to delve into the law aspect of things, because we understand that we're all corporations under the government, yada, 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 yada. I could get into that. I've chosen not to, like, all year long. Almost. Okay, we're not our names, and We're not chattel, and that's one aspect. Health-wise, one aspect. Spirituality, an aspect. You have to combine all these things and find balance. Just like my idea with the womb sauna, or the womb sauna is Tema Aziz. The womb table is lifting the veil. Okay, the womb table, the idea, I offended a bunch of people when this video came out that we were going to do these womb tables to, balance off the transition to bring in the time of the feminine. There were people that were really offended by that. Well, there's men too, and you can't just... No. Transition to balance. Very important. It's about balancing off. We have to balance off. We can't be extreme anymore. It's the extremity that's killing us. The fear. We've got to let it go. We have to balance ourselves out. Oh, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. But if you're really, really serious about this shift, and you're really, truly serious about being a more whole being, because that's the problem. We're not whole. We're finding wholeness. Many of us are on our way. But truly whole, heart and mind together? Your mind confuses you so much when it works on its own. Your heart knows. The whole heart-gut thing, it's like one. What does your gut tell you? It's not your gut, it's your heart. Crying out to you. Going right to the natal energies inside of you, everything that's primal, and telling you, this is what you want, or this is not what you want. It's really interesting. Because we would rather listen to logic. What is logic? Logic is part of it, right? Logic is part of it, but logic with no heart is lacking feeling, lacking love, lacking spirit. Love without logic is lacking discernment. You take those two and you put logic and love together, and I'm sorry, I see guns dropping on the ground, and this whole question of the gun law isn't even an issue. And let me tell you right now, in my finest out east accent for a Canadian, thereby, the army puts the guns down. Nobody needs a gun. Nobody feels fear to need a gun. Something I want to talk to as well as the Idle No More campaign. Because I do see something happening that I'm not happy with. Ever since that shooting. And I know I keep talking about it, right? But there's a point. The shooting was at the same time as the UN declaration or the bill that wants to be passed that, stricter gun laws, blah, 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 blah. It's part of an agenda. We know this. Now, Canada can't do the same thing. Canada's government just cannot do the same thing. You know why? Because we already have really strict gun laws. Yes, we do. If you don't believe me, look into it. But they're trying to incite civil unrest in the United States. How do they do that to Canada? Well, very easy. A native chief stands up and says, Prime Minister Harper, I want to talk to you about the mistreatment of my people. You apologized to us for the residential schools. It was lip service, obviously, because you've done nothing. You've sold off our land. You've sold off our waters. You've sold off our tar sands. So this woman is now on a 2-week hunger strike? And do you think any of our politicians are going to talk to her? No. They've made it very clear that they're not going to. So now this fast, spiritually, fantastic on her. She's going to gain so much strength from this. There is always that chance that it won't work out so well. What will the Canadian people do? What will the Indigenous people do? My thought is that they're trying to incite a civil war here as well, in a different way for Canadians. Something that Rob in the family page always says is peaceful non-compliance. If enough of us are doing it, what can they do? Vengeance is not something that we want. Civil war is not something that we want. And a lot of people are like, well, if we don't have a civil war, they're never going to get it. We're all still thinking in that patriarchal mind. You can't beat it out of them. Do you understand that? You can't shoot the problems away. You can't bomb the issues. That's not going to work. That is not New World thinking. We're not animals. Animals. I'm comparing us to creatures that live so much better than we do, and saying we're not them. No, we're far worse if we want to look at it that way. So why don't we become a little more animalistic? I think I like that idea. I think it's time to go primal. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to AmericanFreedomRadio.com. This is Lifting the Veil. And I was just saying how maybe we should go back to being primitive. And darling, Justin, you are just so good to me. He gave me a definition for primitivism. Wow, I can't speak. AKA radical primitivism, anti-authoritarian. Basically, someone who would like to see the abolition of the power relations of hierarchy, coercion, domination, and exploitation that was brought about by the shift from the hunter-gatherer to the hamster wheel. Know that. So I put two things together, to agriculture. I think that we really, it says the central tenet of primitivism is anarcho-primitivism and anti-civilized, oh God, these big words. You know, I do radio. Can you imagine? This is why I'm not doing it anymore. No, I'm joking. Anti-civilizationism is the abolishment of technology. Let's stop reading now. The whole point being is that we need to rise above what we've been made to think we are and what we can do. I think that's just a huge thing, is that it's time to get back to nature. And we've learned that the big pharma's not helping us. Big pharma's killing us. We've learned that, tap water's not safe. We know these things. We know that there's chemtrails in the sky. We know that the GMO food, we have to be careful with what we're putting into our bodies. We also know that we can feed off the sun. That's right. Carrie said we can eat the sun. Take that, all disbelievers. Don't care. We can charge our water. The things we can do. We can make organite to clean all the dirty, negative, nasty energy. We can do so much. It's not a matter of what's holding us back anymore, because nothing's holding us back. We've sat back and we want this instant gratification. Wanting builds character. Now, something that a past guest, Amanda Stock, left on Rob and the Family Paget's wall that I have to read. It's a quote. "To be truly challenging, a voyage, like a life, must rest on a firm foundation of financial unrest. Otherwise, you are doomed to a routine traverse, the kind known to yachtsmen who play with their boats at sea. Cruising, it is called. Voyaging belongs to seamen, and to the wanderers of the world who cannot or will not fit in. If you are contemplating a voyage, and you have the means, abandon the venture until your fortunes change. Only then will you know what the sea is all about." I've always wanted to to the South Seas. But I can't afford it. With all these men can't afford, what these men can't afford is not to go. They are enmeshed in the cancerous discipline of security. And in the worship of security, we fling our lives beneath the wheels of routine. And before we know it, our lives are gone. What does a man need? Really need? A few pounds of food each day? Heat and shelter? 6 feet to lie down in? Some form of working activity that will yield a sense of accomplishment? That's all. In the material sense, and we know it. But we are brainwashed by our economic system until we end up in a tomb beneath a pyramid of payments, mortgages, preposterous gadgetry, playthings that divert our attention from the sheer idiocy of the charade. The years thunder by. The dreams of youth grow dim, where they lie caked in dust on the shelves of patience. Before we know it, the tomb is sealed. Where then lies the answer? In choice. What shall we be? Bankrupt of purse or bankrupt of life? That quote's by Sterling Hayden. And again, thank you, Amanda, so much. And Rob, it's on your wall, my friend. See, the thing is, we don't need anything. Really. We don't need all the trinkets. Yeah, we like them. Sure. But the more that we give up, it's like, okay, I can go with this, the idea of, just giving away all of your possessions. And I can't tell you how much of our house, we got rid of to come here. And do you know that we're still thinking of moving farther west? Why? To get rid of more junk? No, not just that. Once you realize that you can do it, once you realize you can uproot yourself, once you realize that you don't have to be fixed, as in placed permanently, nothing is impossible. The whole world opens up to you. Look at a wife and a husband with 2 young children, 2 dogs and a cat, got on a 36-hour car drive to move. Everything didn't work out awesome. And guess what? It's still awesome. I've learned so much about myself in this past year that I can't be thankful enough. And I keep going towards that. What do I really need in life? I love doing this show. But there's going to come a time where I probably won't do it anymore. Oh! But really, though, I look forward almost to, or maybe it's just going to shift. Maybe I'll always do the show and it'll just shift. Who knows? I love what I do. I love what I've gained from what I do. The clarity, the therapy. This is a highly therapeutic show I'm doing right now. I have a question here. We can make the change, all of us together. Yes, we can. Is it possible to have everything in surplus in a free world? To have everything in, I don't see why not. I don't see why it wouldn't be possible to have everything in surplus. There's a bunch of stuff that we wouldn't want. Think about it. If we had real control over everything, right? Control is such a funny word. Would we make electronics to last? Or would we choose to make them the way that we're making them now, where they're just throwaway items? What are we gaining from our instant gratification? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like... I don't know. I think it's time... I honestly think it's time that everybody that says that they're going to be doing stuff just, shit or get off the pot. That's what time it is now. If you really want to start a tribe, start a tribe. If you build it, they will come. And don't compromise. And I know that sounds like so selfish, right? Why would you compromise your values and your not, I'm not saying to like hold steadfast and be unchangeable, but if compromise is going to be hurtful, then don't do it. If it's not true to your higher self, don't do it. I have so much to say, and yet I'm almost at a loss. I'm not afraid to say anything anymore. So be prepared for when you're coming to the YouTube channel at Lifting Veils, sorry. That's the name of the YouTube channel. For anybody that hasn't checked us out there, Lifting Veils, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm really super happy about that. It's a little show that could. Our website is liftingtheveil.ca. And look for shows that are going to be touching on things that I was otherwise too prudish to talk about before. This is coming from the girl who like talks about everything. I know. But that's where we're going. We're going into that. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. I'm going to have the guests on that myself and the listeners want to have on. We're not always going to agree. Martin Ball. Wow, do you remember that interview earlier this season? That interview messed my shit up. It really did. I appreciated it though, and I don't look at him and think negatively towards him or anything that he said. I gained valuable lesson from it. It really pissed some people off. I love that. I love that. I love things that make me feel uncomfortable. I love things that make me question. So that's what we have to do. The big things that I want to promote right now. Be true to you. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. People say, I got to this point where, forgiveness is crap. No, it's not. Forgive yourself and move on. Let go of all those old things you're holding on to. Let go of all those things that you're holding on to in so many ways. Because there's so many stereotypes that we hold on to that just are not, they're not working out for us. Not even a little bit. And I know it's like, well, yeah, but they do the stereotype, yeah, because it's been programmed into them. So forgive them for what they're doing and move on. They'll work it out, or they won't. It's not your life. Your life is your life. Do what you want with your life. Don't make excuses for why you can't. Find reasons that you can, and that you should, and that you will. We have options. Meditation's huge. Astrotheology is huge. I really do believe that people should understand their natal charts. There's this fantastic website. I know I've talked about it before. I'll make sure that it's in the links for the video for this show. But it's a natal chart every day for what your day is going to be based on all the planets. That's fantastic. And it's really uncanny how dead spot on it is. But if you understood what all the planetary alignments meant at the time of your birth, then you understand that no, the horoscope isn't crap at all. It's a guide. We've got so many guides. We have to take advantage of them. Meditation is another guide. Use it. You are your own guide, your moral compass, your everything that's good in you, everything that is not bad, dark in you, whatever. Use it. Figure you out. Because we're all running around crazy, not knowing who we are. Screaming out, the world's so wrong. I hate the government. I hate this. I hate All right, we get it. How can you fix you so you can be okay in that? How do you transform yourself from a warrior to a sage? Where is that point where you realize that screaming and fighting out is only perpetuating the madness? Open mind, open heart, open world, open source. Open. Let's be open. Stop closing yourself off. Stop closing yourself off to you. I know you're doing it. I know you sit there and deny yourself all kinds of love and pleasure. Why? Matthew asks me, I farted. How do I use that? I'm sure you can make somebody laugh with it, and that will bring happiness. I know, farts, they make people laugh. My son, all the time, running around, farting and laughing, 'cause he's a smart fella. Fart smeller, smart feller, I don't know. But anyway, you can use it. Make you laugh. Laughter is good. 'Cause I'm totally gonna do you want to ask me a question? I'm gonna answer it. And even if it's the silliest of questions, there's not enough silliness in the world. There's not enough love in the world. There is so much love in the world. So use it. First, with yourself. Do some eye gazing. With yourself. In the mirror. Tell yourself you deserve bliss. Tell yourself, I am divine. Tell yourself how much you love you. And if you don't, figure out how you need to change your life so that you can. Because if you don't love yourself, there ain't no love in the world for anybody else inside you. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to AmericanFreedomRadio.com. You're listening to Lifting the Veil. This is not necessarily my final show, but my final scheduled show, and I will come back as a guest. Should I be asked, I would love to. I want to thank Danny. I would like to thank Filthy. I would like to thank everybody at American Freedom Radio for being so wonderful to me and just accepting me and not being upset about the fact that I don't want to do this every Saturday anymore. And just allowing me to be me. That's really fantastic, and I absolutely love you guys for that. A friend of mine had said something the other day that I posted. I wanted to reiterate it because I think it's important. Today, I'm flipping the lenses of your perception. You're not great or perfect or any of these fantasies of grandeur. I know it feels terrible, but this is just an ego response of self-importance. Just let it go. In actuality, you are the opposite of all of these labels. You are something beyond all these linear constructs of your context. Example, great is only as great as you can imagine great to be. Try being nothing for a change. Stop building an idealized identity of yourself. Just be you. Do kind and loving things, nothing more. And when you find your nothingness, you'll be able to be radiant and radiate the all. And that is when your real superpowers will kick in. Just another thought on nothing. Stop trying so hard. Just allow yourself to be. And find your medicine and use it. Medicine for the People, a band that I absolutely love and I wish everybody would listen to. They say, don't hesitate. Rather gather and create. Be of service. Be a sensible person. Use your words. And don't be nervous. You can do this. You've got purpose. Find your medicine and use it. These words for me mean everything. They mean so much. I don't have heaps of wisdom. I am not special. All I am is here on this journey trying to doing the best I can every day. Something that you all can do. Something that I see so many people doing. Something that I admire, that I am seeing now, is that it's not so hard to talk to people. And all these divisions of religion and belief and political this, and I like the color green better than the color red, whatever. Just all the stuff. I don't want any barriers between you and I anymore. Are you a boy and do you like boys? That's okay. Are you a girl and you like girls? That's okay too. Are you a girl who likes boys and a boy who likes girls? That's okay. Sexuality doesn't matter to me. Never has. If you want to believe in God, go ahead. I ask that you don't hurt anybody for that belief. I ask that you don't condemn anybody, but who am I to ask? Nobody. Don't listen to me. Do what your heart feels right. But it's time we start taking our hearts into consideration. Really, you respond with this logical mind. I know I did. Join your heart and mind together. If you can join your heart and mind together, you're going to get truth. Your truth. Actual truth. Higher self truth. What do you want to call it that's going to make it okay for you? We don't get it from books. We don't get it from some man on a mount. We don't get it from some magical pill. I ate the mushroom, and I was 3 sizes smaller. I ate the cookie, and I was 4 times larger. Both things were superficial. Who are you at the core of it all? That's what you want to know. That's what you want in this life. What is going to make you happy? What is it that they say? The guy with the most toys wins? Well, at the end of it all, the guy with the most toys, if he's dead, the toys don't go with him. He's still dead. Although dead is something I'm looking forward to, because what is there to be afraid of? Reuniting with the all, that great cosmic soup of awesome? I'm not scared. Fear, let it go. So, what have we decided? What have we come to? We've come to that Carrie likes to bare her soul at moments where she feels it's needed. We've learned that, I don't know what you've learned. I've learned that I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't want to put myself through suffering. We're going to suffer, but I don't want to cause the suffering, and I want to love myself. I do love myself. We've learned that Lifting the Veil is no longer going to be with AFR, but we're still going to be putting shows out on Lifting the Veil, or Lifting Veil's YouTube channel, and at www.liftingtheveil.ca. We are still in full support of AmericanFreedomRadio.com. We are starting a campaign called Lifting the People. I would love if everybody would be as excited as Justin and I are about this. This is Justin's creation. This was his idea. Fantastic. We also are going to have some type of contest, and I'd like ideas on what type of contest you'd all like to see. And you can go to Facebook. There's a group. It's a closed group. You just have to ask, and you're let in. We don't say no to anybody unless you're a shit disturber that just wants to cause hate and hurt on people, and then we will, because it's just not necessary. Anyway, if you go there and put your ideas there, or send us a message at oneliftingtheveil.gmail, at oneliftingtheveil.gmail.com. Oney Bump says everyone is special. I agree with you. We are all special, but no more special than the other. I'm no more special than you. You're no more special than I am. And cosmically, we are all one. We are stardust. We are so much more than we give ourselves credit for. We're going to have a contest. I've asked authors that have been interviewed on Lifting the Veil to donate a book, to donate their works. And I will be giving away, Karen Sawyer from the Art Convention sent me her novel, The Dangerous Man, a fantastic compilation that you really do need to get into. She signed it for us, and we're going to have a contest. I have no idea what or how, but it's going to happen, and somebody's going to get a free book. And a free book that is going to nourish your mind and soul. So, Matthew is saying, DMT is wonderful. I'm not going to argue, but I don't know because I haven't done any yet. This is something for 2013, expanding my awareness. It might be something I hop into. That's right, I said it. It might be something I hop into. He also says we all lick the windows. We are all that special. If anybody wants to argue, go ahead. Matthew's in Australia, though, so he's one of those crazy time walkers always ahead. All I want to say is that I'm really grateful for everything. I'm grateful for my lessons. I'm grateful for the time that I'm allotted. I'm grateful for the friends that I have in my life. I am grateful for Justin. I am grateful for Carrie. I am grateful for Claudia. I am grateful for Hans. I am grateful for Matthew. I am grateful for my husband, my children. I am grateful for my animals. I am grateful for the world. I am grateful for the strife. I am grateful for the struggle. I am grateful for the pain. I am grateful for the tears. I am grateful for the suffering. I am grateful for the love. I am grateful for the joy. I am great. Every last bit is why I'm here. I'm not denying myself anything anymore. I don't think any of you should either. Love starts at home. Your home is in your heart. It's time you loved yourself. It's 5:55. Funny that. You've been listening to AmericanFreedomRadio.com. This has been Lifting the Veil with Carrie Lee. It was an absolute honor to do the show for as many months as I did. And I really do hope you all stay tuned to the YouTube channel. Our first show of the year is going to be Thomas Sheridan and how to remove yourself from the cinema of society. Until then, peace and so much love. Let go of the hate and embrace the all.